This is the Claude Cowork small business plugin. Every Monday at 7 a.m, you can have this running without touching anything. And it can pull in your revenue data, sales, your pipeline, anything in your calendar, as well as your emails to flag anything that needs following up. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to set up the Claude Cowork small business plugin. And no, you don't need a tech background. I have taught over 1,000 entrepreneurs how to do this stuff, and none of them knew how to code. All right, let's get into it. So most people are using Claude like a chatbot, but Cowork is so much more powerful than this. We want to move beyond asking it a question and answering, and then you copy and pasting or closing the tab, and the whole thing just kind of evaporates. That's fine if you want a recipe for your dinner, but if you're running a small business, that's a waste of precious resources. And here's what I know. Claude Cowork has two completely different ways to work. So you can build individual skills, which are like recipe cards for one specific task, or you can install plugins, which is like the whole cookbook. That is like hiring a specialist team who already knows all of the recipes in the book, and almost no small business is using this brand new plugin properly. So let me show you what I mean. Okay. So before we touch the plugin, we want to get started in Claude. So I want to make sure you know the difference, because it's kind of the thing that I get asked a lot. So let's start with skills. So if we go down to Customize here and then go to skills, you'll see all of the skills listed here. And if you haven't set up Claude Cowork, go back to one of my other videos, which I'll link below, where I walk you through getting set up with Claude Cowork, and then come back to this one. All right. So back in Customize, we want to go over and have a look at these skills. So these are a single set of instructions for one specific task. So you can see here, I've got podcast titles listed. So that is a skill, and it goes through this workflow to help me come up with podcast titles. I've also got a skill here that helps me create proposals based off my transcripts with potential clients. And these are really great if you just need like one thing done in isolation. That skills are awesome. It starts to get limiting because in isolation, these skills just kind of do one task. So let's take an invoice creator as an example. If you have a skill that helps you create invoices like I do here, these are great for creating that one invoice. But that skill can't check whether an invoice is overdue. It can't follow up with the client. It can't update your spreadsheet. It just makes the invoice. So it's one recipe card, not the whole meal. Do you see where I'm going here? So a plugin, on the other hand, a plugin is like an experienced chef who knows the whole recipe book. A plugin bundles multiple skills together. It can add commands, it can trigger specific tasks, connects to your actual tools, which skills do too, but it also has the ability to run sub-agents, which is where it gets super powerful for multi-step work. So it's not just that one recipe card, it's the whole kitchen, really. So when you install the small business plugin, you're not just getting one skill, you're getting an operations manager who can check your revenue for you, flag overdue invoices, draft follow-up emails, and help you write your content calendar, all in one plugin. That's the difference. Okay, so we've covered that. Now let's set this up. So down here, you'll see I have these plugins. So I've got one for content, YouTube, and there's also ones here for operations, marketing, legal, and my brand voice. So if we want to add a new plugin, we just come over here and hit browse plugins, and you're going to find the small business plugin down the bottom here, and you can see it's almost at 1 million downloads. So this thing is pretty popular. We just want to hit plus here, and that is going to install it for us. So now this is listed over here in our plugins, and out of the box, it can already do some pretty awesome things. So it's got all of these skills, 31 built-in skills. So you can see here, it has this business pulse. There's also call list, Canva creator. It's also got this CRM cleanup, invoice chase, Monday brief, lead triage. This is a whole small business system. And it also comes with some pre-built connections. So you can connect it to your QuickBooks, PayPal, HubSpot if you use Canva, DocuSign, Slack, a whole bunch. You can also add in different connectors, which we'll get into shortly. And if we just jump back into this plugin overview. So you can see we have all of these skills here. And if we jump into one of these skills, you can see it's got like skill MD, which is basically just the workflow. And then it's also got all of these references here. So these are super powerful, but we're not going to just use them out of the box. We're going to customize this thing for your business. So how do we do that? Come back up here and we're just going to hit customize now. So you'll notice here, it's now just going to ask me to customize the plugin for me based on the company. All right. And so it's going to go through all of the stuff that we have worked on together. And I actually have my whole Cowork HQ set up. If you want that, you can grab that skill in my community, which I'll link below. And so it's going to basically walk us through setting this up based on what it knows about me and also asking me questions. Okay, so what's really interesting here is the plugin is built almost entirely around US tools and US tax rules. So it knows that I'm Australian and also work in a tool called Xero with BAS and GST, which is just our tax system. So it's adjusting based on that, which is, again, awesome. And now it's going to look at what tools I have connected so it can set them up properly for me. And I'm going to select here, my clients pay me via Strat and PayPal and bank transfer. And how do I track leads? We'll say Notion. And do I use an e-signature? No. And yes, we want that. That's compliant. And it's going to walk through this. And so you'll notice over here too, it's created this little progress bar. So it's confirming my tool stack. It's going to copy the plugin to a writable workspace on my computer, and it's going to remap the accounting and payment tools, convert over to Australian tax, remap the CRM and e-signature references, and update all of the connectors for me. That's a lot. Let's come back to it once it's set all of that up. Okay, so you can see it's run a bunch of commands here. It's still going because there is 31 skills that it needs to update. You probably don't need all of these skills. You could just pick the ones that are relevant to your business and update them. So a couple of things to note too, whenever you're downloading skills or plugins from somewhere else, or even the ones that come pre-built in Claude, you just want to customize these to your business because they will be so much better than just off-the-shelf products, because it's kind of like beige, guessing, average. Whereas if you take the time to customize these things to your business, your workflows, you're going to get heaps better output. And so if we just jump here now, you can see plugins. And so you can see all of these listed. So if I jump into this small business plugin, you can see here, we've got Business Pulse, we've got Call List, and you get this little description over on the right-hand side too, that tells you what that skill does. So if we go Business Pulse, that is the one that showed you that dashboard. You can get this Business Pulse to run every time you call in a skill that way. You could also jump back in here and get it to clean up your CRM or give you a customer pulse or a Friday brief, which is a Friday end of the week pulse, revenue versus the prior week, top sellers, wins and watches. So this thing is super powerful. And what is built into this skill would be a scheduled task. And if you don't know what they are, they live over here and these just run on a schedule. So I've got one for my Instagram metrics. I've also got one for weekly AI news. And this sends me a message in Slack with ideas for content based on whatever's dropping in AI. Okay, so after a couple of minutes, it's worked through all of that. So it's converted everything over to Australian tax and it's converted this plugin for me. So you can see it's all finished here. And then I just want to hit save plugin now. So this is good because you get to see the real stuff. So it's saying here plugin validation failed. So I'm just letting Claude Cowork know and it's going to sort that out. Okay, that fixed. And now let's have a look at one of these skills, the Canva creator. And so what this does is take an approved content brief and executes a campaign end to end, builds the posting calendar, generates Canva design, social posts, draft caption, email copy, and stages social sends in Notion. Wow. Okay. Let's try the Monday brief. So I'll call that in and just ask it to run. Okay, so what it's doing is it's going to pull in Xero, it's going to pull in my calendar the week ahead, Gmail, and then also look at my Slack. So when we're using these tools, you can either get it to do allow once or allow for this task. So let's just go, allow for this task. And so again, over on this side, you'll notice it's basically written itself a to-do list. So pull cash and sales from Xero, pull the week ahead and watch list. And when you run these for the first time too, you will have to babysit it by giving it these permissions. And then once you're more comfortable with it, you can let it do that. Each time you call in that Monday brief, if you gave it allow for this task permission, it will be able to do that itself without you having to sit here and go, yes, I'm okay with that. Yes, I'm okay with that. Okay, so you can see here it's pulled in all of my income there and then my pipeline. I don't actually have my CRM in Notion, so that's why it's flagged that. And then the week ahead, so it's listed all of my meetings and then my watch list as well. So it has grabbed my Slack DMs and we can open this too. And then what's really cool here is it has recognized that this is a scheduled task. So it's asking me now, do you want to run this weekly? And so we can say, yes, can you run this weekly for me? And it will set up this scheduled task. And we can watch it come in here. And so down here, now it's got our Monday brief. And so it's written this whole workflow to pull in all of my data from everywhere that I'm working. And that's it. That's all sorted. My Monday brief. So you could do the Friday check as well. There's so many things that you can do with this small business plugin. Now, if you want to go deeper on this, that's what my Right Mode membership is for. It's filled with women who are actually building with AI. I will link that in the description below. Now, something you need to understand too is before you go plugin crazy and install everything, I want to give you a quick framework for when to use a skill versus when you need a plugin, because not everything needs a plugin. So here are 3 questions I like to ask myself or clients before I decide. Okay, so one is this one task or is this part of a whole workflow? If it's just generate an invoice every time, that's a skill. Or it could be like my invoice skill that I have that is just for one-off ad hoc invoices. So that's a skill. I don't need a whole plugin for that. That's a recipe card, one job done. If it's a check what's overdue, draft the follow-up, update any records, that's a plugin because it's trying to do loads of things that make up that whole recipe book. So that's when you would want to create a plugin because it's made up of a whole bunch of skills. Number 2, doesn't need to connect to other tools. So skills do have that capability, but if you want to get super powerful with these things, you can create skills and these have sub-agents that run underneath them as well. So yes, skills can connect to tools, but plugins can have sub-agents running as part of that. And number 3, is this something that needs to run without you? So if you want to trigger something ad hoc, then a skill is a good place to start. But when you want to run things on a schedule, like our Monday morning brief, or for it to clean up our CRM, then that starts to be plugin territory. Or if we want to basically have a team working with us, so like legal, marketing, our operations, then that would be a plugin. And so I want to leave you with something now, because most people are still using Cowork like a chatbot, but you're not going to do that anymore. You want to start thinking about how Cowork fits in your whole business. So I actually have this project set up, which is my Cowork operating system. So down here, my whole business sits here. I've got clients, I've got finance, I've got marketing, and I've got my membership. And now this small business plugin can fit into that as well. And so if you want the setup for my Cowork HQ, that's actually a skill that is included in my Right Mode membership, which I will link below. And finally, remember, our skills are like our recipe cards, our plugins are like the whole recipe book. And if you found this helpful, drop in the comments below. Are you installing the small business plugin? And also let me know what you want to see next on this channel. And make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And I will see you on the next video.